So in the case of a presentation techniques, what is expected from your syllabus is you should have an idea on what is an oral presentation, what is an assignment, what is a seminar, what is a debate, then workshop, colloquium, conferences. These are the various type of presentation techniques. Basically, in any presentation, what we are doing is that, for example, you have conducted some research work on or a project work, and after the completion of that project work, you will have some result. Just keeping the result with you, it may not be useful either for yourself or for the country or for the society. So you have to present that idea on that information before some scholars or some group of scientists or some group of researchers. That is what we mainly mean by presentation. So there are different type of presentation. One of the most popular type of presentation is actually oral presentation. Just like we are taking a class, and most of the time there will be different type of conferences. And if you are attending one conferences, what they will give you some 10 minutes or 15 minutes time. So within that 10 minutes or 15 minutes time, you have to present your result, your summary of research, what you have found, what you have observed, what are the major findings you have achieved during your research project. All this you have to present in that presentation. So that kind of a presentation is known by the name oral presentation. So oral presentation usually introduces a discussion of a topic or a research paper. Now, most of the time, this oral presentation will be in the form of a PPT. PPT, you know, it is a PowerPoint presentation. So it is more, nowadays it is mainly using PowerPoint presentation or PPT. We will be presenting our research findings. For next year on, also you will have a PPT presentation. Whatever project work you are doing, you will have to present that result of that project in a PPT presentation before an examiner, and for that you will have 80 marks. So 80 marks is a marks given, that is more than the mark of a normal paper. It is 60 marks only, but for a project it is 80 marks. So when you do it very well, and for each part there will be different marking scheme will be there. For presentation also, I think you will have some 30 marks or something. So how you are presenting will be an important thing in impressing the examiner as well as a group of scholars wherever you are presenting. So a good oral presentation is focused. There is one focused means you are not going to say unnecessary detail. You have only 10 because you have been doing that work for 6 months, sometimes 1 year, sometimes 3 years. So you have plenty of things, a lot of data with you. You have a lot of ideas to share with the audience, but you have only 10 minutes. So within 10 minutes, you have to present what is expected, what are the main ideas that we have. So that kind of presentation is that we are only telling what are the main points, what are the major findings. That is a focused, concise. Concise means very brief. You are not dragging, you are not taking too much time. Even if it is a normal class, if some teacher is taking too much time, you feel bored. The same is the case with an audience. So an interesting in order to trigger distraction. So how you are presenting, that is an important thing. So even if you are making a PPT presentation, you can make the PPT very boring and very attractive or very much interesting, or you can by the use of good PPT slides itself, you can make a good impression on the audience. So an oral presentation should be well prepared with a detailed outline. What things that you are going to discuss in the beginning, what are the things that you are going to say in the middle, and what all items that you will be discussing at the end of the talk. This is known as a detailed plan. That's a detailed outline of the talk or plan of the talk. So presentation should introduce the subject properly. For example, you are going to a biodiversity conference, and your work is on butterflies or your work is on amphibians. In a biodiversity conference, all the people who are attending may be either zoologists or biologists. Sometimes from botany or other biological science background, people will be there. Even if only zoologists are there, everybody may not be knowing everything about all the areas. For example, some may be interested in mainly butterflies, some may be on amphibians, some may be studying about birds. So for a group of people who are mainly focused on birds, you are talking about butterflies. They may not be able to understand most of the things. So what you can do, you should give an introduction. So this is how this is the introduction means introduction of the butterfly diversity of Kerala or butterfly diversity of India or butterfly diversity of, so that part is known as introduction. So you are introducing the subject in a manner that a person with a reasonable biological background will be able to understand or will be able to grasp the main ideas of your talk. That is known as introduction. And if your introduction is very good and if the way you are talking is very impressive, people will be listening to you. But if you are talking in a sleepy mood, not very soft voice, very feeble voice, nobody is going to listen. So presentation is just like talking. How effective the presentation depends on how well you have prepared, how you are using your voice modulation, and everything will be playing a major role in impressing the audience while you are making a presentation. You should talk about the sources and method used. For example, when you are discussing a topic, you have collected information from different sources that you have to mention. What are the methods that you have used in your research project that you have to discuss, and what are your major observation or major discoveries? That is that statement you have to make. So all these will be part of a good presentation. A presentation should also indicate if there are any conflicting views about the subject. That is an important thing. Or because one important thing about research is that in a research, please. So one important thing about research is that there will be always opposite views. For example, we have studied about butterfly diversity, and when a previous researcher was doing that study, they could collect around 50 species of butterfly, and you are able to find only 45 species of butterfly. There is a deficiency of 5. You should have a proper explanation how these where these 5 butterflies, what happened to these 5 species of butterfly. You have to give there are some people who may be suppressing the data that you only found 45 species of butterfly, 5 species you just tick it as you have also written got. That kind of presentation may be false presentation. One important thing in any research is honesty, because how sincerely, how honestly you are presenting the data is a valuable information. Sometimes some of the important people may be hiding a lot. Even about coronavirus, people have hidden a lot of important information. That is why the world suffers. So in a research, we are doing it not for the individual, not for our individual sake. We are actually doing it for the society. So if you hide something which we are sure about, that is going to going to fool the society or affect the society in a negative way. So if there are any conflicting views, that you should present also during. A good presentation should also use visual aid. Visual aid mainly means sometimes you can also give some brochure, because you are going to have a detailed talk. Sometimes regarding your talk, there can be an abstract, one-page abstract. So you can distribute the abstract before the talk, so that people will be simply going through the abstract and have a better idea. They will, within 1 or 2 minutes, they will read the abstract and they will have a better view. And at the end of the talk, they are ready with the question. So that is the advantage of visual aids or handouts, and that will help you to have a good response at the end of the talk. An effective PowerPoint presentation is just an aid to the presentation, not the presentation itself. Because PowerPoint presentation is just a tool, it's a software that where you can present your text, you can present your pictures, you can present your audios, we can present. For example, if there is some sound of a bird, that you can present, you can play there. Some videos are there with you that you can present. So all these are actually tools, not the presentation. Relevant visual illustration, picture, maps, charts, graphs, etc. For example, you have some important information about the diversity of butterflies, birds, etc. And if you are presenting it in the form of bar diagram, it will be more easier for people to understand. So that is the advantage of using graphs or charts, etc. So that is also, one should also make clear statements about the essence result of the talk. At the end of the talk, you should give a very clear idea. This is the now summary of my result. These are the major findings of my, or these are the major results that I have obtained. That part you should very clearly mention. Presentation should avoid long full sentence on the slide, because I am using very small sentence. But can be other type of, if I am clumping all these sentence. Actually, what I have done is that I have cut the paragraphs into small sentence. So when you are looking at the slide, it is easier for you to read. And if I am clumping or grouping all the sentence together, still all these points will be there. But it will be difficult for you to read, because your way, your eyes will be focusing. And will be, because small sentence it is easy to read. If it is a bigger sentence, you only read one or two sentences. Maybe first sentence or the last sentence. Middle you will mostly avoid. So that is why the presentation should use very small sentence. The major points should be used in the form of bullet. It is also important to avoid use of too complicated charts, graphs. But for example, sometimes for some presentation they made very good work. But the problem is that when you are presenting your work, even if you are presenting it before a group of zoologists, all the zoologists may not be aware of all the information, all the research work in that area. Every zoologist will be focusing on only certain areas. So if you are using highly technical, too complicated graphs or picture, they may not be able to understand. And at the end, what happens is that nobody will have any question. Sometimes they will have a negative impression. So that is very important, that what you are presenting in a presentation should be, the people should be able to understand. If people are not able to understand, they may either keep silent, or sometimes they take a negative opinion about your work. In both cases, it is not useful for it. So these are the major points of a good PowerPoint presentation. Now this is going to the second part, that is the assignment. You know what is an assignment. How your people are, for example, today I am giving you an assignment. For example, prepare an assignment on the amphibian diversity of Kottayam. What do you people do? You will immediately go home and search Google amphibian diversity of Kottayam, and you will get a lot of information. Nowadays there is ChatGPT, and if you type in the ChatGPT, please prepare an assignment to be submitted in the college on amphibian diversity of Kottayam, it will prepare a two-page or three-page report. You just take the printout and you can submit. So this is how you people are actually. So this is how assignment is normally done. But actually assignment can be any work. It is a task or a piece of work that a teacher has given to student. It cannot be always a written. For example, I am asking you to do some museum cataloging work. There is no written report. You are not going to present a report there. But you are doing some work, you are learning some work, you are at least remembering the names of some species which are kept there. So that is also any task or any piece of work the teacher is giving you, the student, as a part of their academic learning. So that can be an assignment, because in many of the foreign universities, if you go, there will not be any written examination, and most of your work will be assessed as a part of your regular practical work, and there will be one or two, three major assignment will be there, and that major assignments they will very thoroughly examine, and if there are, and you may not get much help also there. And if you are using any Google without proper referencing, you are mentioning lot of data, that will be rejected. So when you are preparing an assignment, there are a lot of risk involved. That one thing, if you take some information from somebody's work, you have to clearly mention, this is not my work, this is somebody's work. That information you should clearly say. Right now, what most people are doing, they take information about from some sources and mention and put it together, and maybe recently there are a lot of tools also. There is a software known as article rewriter. Do you know that? Article rewriter. If you type in the article rewriter, they will need to copy paste lot of information from Google and put all this information into, you just make a report of your own, and you felt that English is not very good. So if you put that in your article rewriter, just that will immediately change that send all paragraphs into a new paragraph. So it looks very decent, well written. So such types of softwares are now available. It is also available free. Just go to the Google and type Quillbot. Quillbot is one, because if you feel that your assignment work is very poor, I will show you at the end of the talk. So you go to the Quillbot. It's a Quillbot has in mobile also you have Quillbot. For example, you want to send some sentence to your teacher. When you are writing the sentence, most of the people cannot write a simple sentence either in Malayalam or in English. So if it is coming to the sending message, the most important tension, how I send this message. Most of the time may choose the voice message. Never choose voice message. If you choose voice message, you will have to speak all the time. You may not be able to even type one sentence either in Malayalam or in English properly. So whenever you have a difficulty, you always try to send message in English itself. In the beginning, it will be difficult. So install this Quillbot in your mobile and type the sentence, what the message you are, then just rewrite. It will immediately rewrite into a well-written, grammatically correct sentence. You just copy paste and send it as message. So people who are receiving, oh, this person is very good. He has some good English. Maybe it is not written by words, but what is the impression that is creating? So after doing this practice for several years, your standard will naturally improve. So 1 or 2 years you may be copying like that, but after 2-3 years when you are doing it like that, naturally that will be improving your level of English. You can immediately spot that this is bad English, bad language, this is good language. That level you will reach, because you are seeing how the good sentence construction has been made. So that way you can improve yourself. Always make it a practice that you send your message even with the friends. Do not try, as far as possible, do not send voice messages. If you want to talk something personal, call them or call her and talk. Other than sending voice messages is one important problem the present generation like you face. Actually, WhatsApp has created this voice messenger for people who are illiterate. Now, literate people are mainly using this voice message. So that will make you more and more illiterate, because after some time you find writings one sentence. For example, if somebody asks you to bring a letter, that there is some problem in the class, there is some deficiency in your classroom or some deficiency in your then prepare a letter addressing principal. Most of you will find it immediately very difficult because you don't have the practice. Now it is easy. ChatGPT, if you type the sentence, if you type your message in ChatGPT, prepare a letter addressed to Principal Devamada College from the class leader of second EC Zoology, mentioning the following, that we don't have, our fan is not working. If you type that sentence in the ChatGPT, it will bring a very beautifully drafted letter. You just take the printout and submit it. That is nowadays possible because of artificial intelligence. At least that way also you can do. So if you have deficiency, this is the best method. You can go to ChatGPT or you can use other artificial intelligence. So they will help you. So instead of simply wasting time in quarreling with others or finding a good guy, good person for writing that letter, try yourself so that after some time you can do that. So this is regarding the assignment. Assignment may not be always a written work, it can be any work. So then having the right information. So one important thing is that having the right information is an important thing. Information you find should be reliable and point you in the right direction. One should also express ideas clearly and concisely. Concise means very brief. So you should have a brief and concise presentation. Only too much sentence, too much points, nobody will read. So this is an important thing. When a good report means a well-written report is actually very impressive. It will give you good credit. So that is why preparing an assignment will help you. How you can write an assignment, how you can present your ideas. It gives you a lot of information about it. Now we have one more topic also we will select. That is a seminar. In this seminar you have some idea. For seminar on biodiversity of Kerala, or seminar on the fishes of Kerala, or seminar on butterflies of Kerala, or seminar on the flood problems of Kerala. So all these are what will be discussed there. A group of people will be coming and they will be talking with you on what are the major butterflies of Kerala, or what are the major frogs or amphibians of Kerala, birds. So this is what is basically will be done in any seminar. A seminar may be defined as a gathering. Gathering means a a get together of people for the purpose of discussing a statement. For example, you are conducting a seminar on biodiversity of Western Ghats. So people who are doing some research work on the biodiversity of Western Ghats may be invited for that. So they will be making their own presentation and you can sit there, and you are maybe mainly interested on birds only, but still there may be a lot of other talks. So you can listen to that. So after spending 1 day or 2 day or 3 days, sometimes 1 week will be in the seminar, you will be aware of some of the major issues facing biodiversity of Western Ghats. So that is the advantage. Such gatherings are usually interactive sessions. For example, there will be a talk, and there may be after there will be a 2 hour talk in the morning. After the 2 hour, there will be a short break, a tea break will be there, then there will be a lunch break. So after every talk, there will be a 1 hour 15 to 20 minutes tea break will be, and during then people will be interacting. They will be discussing some of their personal experience, some of their formal experience also. So all these will be shared by people. So main advantage of seminar is that it helps people to talk with each other. You are going to some other college and representing their mother college, and you are making some presentation also. And after discussing, you say that so many students from other colleges are also there. And after during the tea break or lunch break, you will be naturally discussing your about your work with the people, students from other college. So next time you will develop a bonding. You will develop a contact with them. So you know, not only myself, some other people are also working there. You get their number, and next time when you have a problem, you try to contact them. This is the advantage of research work, seminar. Seminar will help people to get connected with other people who are not working in their who are working in their area of interest. A seminar may have several purpose or just one purpose. It can be motivational. Motivational means just to, for example, an importance of biodiversity, or importance of saving our forest, importance of conserving mangrove. These are all motive. So they just give you, but there may not have, other than giving some awareness, they may not have much. So towards, or they may have some type of seminar, maybe implementing skills they have learned from the. For example, you are conducting a seminar on artificial intelligence. So right in the beginning, you may not have much idea, but while attending a seminar on artificial intelligence, they will be telling you about a lot of software techniques which you people can use in your daily studies. So after spending 1 day or 2 days with a seminar on artificial intelligence, you get a lot of ideas which you and which you are practicing for the next weekend. So what is happening is that some skill development is taking place there. So that is also an advantage of seminar participation. Sometimes seminars are simply network and meet attendees from. So that's already I have discussed with you. So then seminar and workshop are slightly different. Seminar is mostly theoretical. There will be only talk. But in the case of a workshop is some practical. For example, you are conducting workshop. Sometimes the people who workshop on birds or workshop on butterflies. The main difference here that in a seminar on butterfly, it will be mostly slide PowerPoint presentation. Whereas in a seminar workshop on butterflies, while the presenter will be bringing some butterflies, and he will call you together and show this is how we have to identify this butterfly. These are the identifying features of this butterfly. So these are the advantages of workshop. Workshop is more like a practical session. Seminar is more like a theoretical session. So if there is some practical work, we call it as a workshop. Ideally, there are not much difference, but main difference is that workshops are practical oriented. There will be field visit will be there. There may be forest trekking will be there. All these will be a part of workshop. Then colloquium, the slight difference is a Latin derivative. That informal meeting or seminar is known as a colloquium. So the ideally this colloquium, conference, seminar all appear somewhat similar. The meeting is of dual nature where address is followed by, that is, in a colloquium the first thing is that the one important person, a well-known person or an expert in this person, he will be making one detailed presentation for 1 hour. After that, there will be question answer session, and you can interact with the audience. For example, one person, we are inviting one person and ask him to talk about the birds of Kerala. So he will be making a detailed presentation on birds of Kerala. After that, you have 10 or 15 minutes time, you can ask your question. That way is known as a colloquium. Then colloquium is mainly taking place in academic setup and conference also. So with regard to the the method adopted, there are not much difference between seminar, colloquium or a conference. So conference is sometimes a larger gathering. So that is also difference with, so convention, colloquium, symposium. What is happening in these events are basically same. The only in the number of people or in the people who are attending this group gathering are only different. Normally, conference means a bigger group of people will be attending. Seminar, a smaller group will be the colloquium also. And then convention means a much more bigger group of people will be attending. That is the only difference between them. Then we have different type of conferences. We have academic conference for academic purpose, business conference or business networking, trade conference for the people who are involved in trade. Then unconference differs from traditional conference since it avoids high cost, top-down, high organized. The unconference is a new term. Actually, it is also a conference. Normally, in a conference, there will be some formal setup because most of the time, for conferences are taking place in some convention center or five-star hotels. So that there will be a lot of expenses involved. After every talk, tea break will be there, and during the lunch break will be there. Participants will be spending their they will have to be given accommodation in 4-star or 5-star hotel. So too much expenses will be coming. So in order to avoid those that much expense, people have recently taken a more unconventional approach. There are no big hotels, only normal hotels, normal accommodation, normal food, everything. But everything will be there, but in a less stylish manner. That is known as an unconference. And in case of debate, what happens in a debate? We have debates in sometimes in college. So debate is basically there are two sides. One talk about the negative side, other talk about the positive side. And there will be maybe five people from each side will be talking. Other five people from so if you put your TV in the 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock, there will be a channel discussion or channel debate. Every day this you are seeing. So after listening to that channel discussion for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, you will really get mad. So that is how the channel discussion is going on in our state. So debate is actually, one advantage of debate is that both people will be, by spending some time with a group of people who are involved in debate, you will be able to get a lot of positive ideas about the topic, negative ideas, what are the important advantages, what are the important disadvantages. All this you can simply get by spending few minutes with a debate. So these are the different type of presentation techniques. We have the oral presentation, that is the most important type of presentation technique. Other are actually a modification or supplementary method for overall presentation. So that's the end of this talk. So you